This morning we are going to continue talking about our main idea and finding the key details that support that main idea, okay? We've done that in two ways. The first way we did it, we started with the key idea first, and then we found those supporting details second, right? And then we did it a different way. Okay, we looked at the details first and found the main idea. So we are going to continue working with our story that way on Padlet like we have done before. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about a couple vocabulary words, and then I'm going to use our book to model for you how to pick out those details and kind of build up to our main idea. And you'll do the rest of that work today. Okay, so the two words I have that you're going to see are cargo, cargo. Okay, when we talk about cargo, in the book they say a cargo barge. So they put these two words together. Have you heard of the word cargo?
No.
Like if a boat carries cargo on it.
It's like
I've
boxes.
heard the word, but I don't know what it
Could be
means.
boxes.
Like boxes of food.
Yeah, exactly. Just, they call it freight. So any supplies or materials that maybe it's going to another state or maybe it's traveling to another country. Wherever it's going, cargo is those materials, those supplies that other people might need. Okay? When we have a barge is like a, it's a flat-bottomed, kind of like a flat-bottomed boat, and that's where they put the cargo on. Okay,
Yeah.
so it can carry lots of heavy things. Okay, so when we have a cargo barge, we have something that carries all of that cargo to different places.
Some
Okay?
boats carry cars.
Some boats do carry cars. Like if someone's moving from a different country over to the United States, they might have to cross an ocean, so they have to put their car on one of these things to get it here, right?
Planes. Or if they're taking a plane.
Planes?
Some planes carry cargo.
Because
Like
I've seen a
Some
plane
planes carry cargo.
like
Yeah, you're right.
animals inside,
Mhm.
because like your pets when you take them somewhere
Right?
and moving, you have to put them in a box. Or
Right.
something.
Yep. So planes can too. All right, so we're going to look at the next pages here in our book, The Bermuda Triangle. Okay?
I've already seen
You can either follow along with me, or you can just look up here. Okay? We're going to look at pages 24 and 25, and that's what I'm going to use to show you how to pull some of those main ideas out. Okay? When we're talking about key details. When we're talking about key details, I want you to think about what and what is happening. Okay? That's how we're going to pull out those important details. What happened, or what is happening? So I want you to think about that question. Okay, so let's look at 24 and 25, or just listen. It's called The Fog. The second officer looked across the bridge as one by one the instruments around him flickered and died. The ship's compass was spinning clockwise at an increasing speed. "What's wrong?" demanded Captain Henry as he climbed onto the bridge. The 160-foot tug called the Good News was 3 days into a voyage from Puerto Rico to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The Good News was towing a cargo barge behind her, attached by a strong line. The captain hadn't been expecting any problems and was surprised to be called to the bridge. The second officer looked flustered. "The instruments just started going crazy," he explained. "Now, power is down on all the electrical equipment. I don't understand." "It's like the power is being drained away by something." So kind of that familiar things are happening that we've already read about, right? Okay, so we're going to think of this as, do you remember when we did the annotations with our other book?
Yeah. Or we had it on
Sleepy
paper.
Hollow, yep. Where we looked at the chapters one by one and we wrote our notes in our margins. Okay, we're going to kind of think of our details and do our details that way a little bit to start with today. So, when I look at these 2 pages, okay, I'm going to ask myself what happened or what is happening. Okay, I know that this part, just some details that we started with, kind of setting us up as to where they're at and what the captain is saying. When I go over to page 25, I'm introduced to good news. That's the tug. It's a boat. Okay? And I know it's a boat. It was going 3 days into a voyage from Puerto Rico to Florida, and it was the one carrying that cargo barge. Okay, so I need to make sure that I have that important detail picked out. So the good news was carrying this cargo barge. Do you agree that that's important?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to write that up here for our key details. Okay, so it was carrying that cargo barge. Okay. Another important idea, again, I'm going to go back to that question of what's happening, is something started to happen. Did you hear when I read that part? Mm-hmm. Something started to happen. That something was... Instruments were going crazy. Something we've heard in the other stories. The compass was going crazy. The power went out, didn't it? Okay. So the power went out. So that is my next important detail. It's a pretty big deal because you can't do much
When the power
when you
goes
lose
out.
that electricity.